Hey, what's up guys? Chris here, and I wanted to talk about our biblical roles as Christian youth. Now, some people might look at me and say, how can you say that you know all this stuff that you're teaching people because you're so young? And you're too young to be wise, you're too young to have this knowledge. Or something along the lines of that, because of me being only 17 years old. And that went for me when I was only 16 and younger also. And the problem is, youth or age does not determine how wise a person is. It does not determine how much knowledge a person has. Commonly, it would be seen that an older person would be more wise due to experience, but that's not always the case. Neither is it with knowledge, and it tends to be that younger people are more knowledgeable with the current things than older people are. And that goes for like technology and stuff and other things along those lines. But it never let a person say that because you're young you can't say certain things about certain topics because you don't know about it or you're not wise enough. That's completely wrong. Now, the Bible specifically, when it's talking about us as Christian youth, it says the following. And it's in 1 Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. And now, that's important because it says how we as Christian youth should live. And it's, of course, we're also a part of the Great Commission to go out into all the world and make disciples of all nations. And I found the best way to do that for me is through YouTube, clearly. And because tons of people watch YouTube, so this is a great way to share the gospel with people. There's tons of creative ideas that younger kids have come up with to share it when they can't physically go out into the world. This is a great way to do so, and with the limitations we have. So, going through this, there's some things that we need to do. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. That's 5 things that we should be setting an example for others. Now, so in our speech, we shouldn't be using cuss words and stuff as the world does. If you just listen to TV for a little bit, or even go to any school or any place where there's kids around, or on the internet, you will hear or see tons of cussing. At my school, the non-Christians around, literally every other word is almost always a cuss word. That's how much they do it. And we as Christian youth should set ourselves apart from the world. We're in the world but not of the world. And that goes for how we talk. We shouldn't be using all these cuss words. Now that doesn't mean that we have to speak some eloquent way. It just means when we're talking, it should be building others up. And I talked about this in the video called Unwholesome Language. I encourage you to go check that out, but that will explain more about that. And conduct. So we should do things that would be pleasing to God, and we should set an example for others in that way. So in our conduct, we should be setting an example. And now that goes to in love. We should show people the love of Christ through our lives, and us as kids can reach a lot more people than older people can, most likely, because we're in school. If people look at us and be like, man, that person is a really friendly person and they love everyone, and note that loving everyone does not mean that you agree or support with everything they do, but if they look at you and say, wow, you love everyone, they probably will tend to listen to you more, to know what your viewpoint is, and realize, wow, this person is like this because they have faith in Jesus Christ. So, and that goes for fellow believers. We should be setting an example for them to do the same for others. Now, in faith, we should have such an undeniable faith in Jesus Christ that everyone knows that, yeah, that person's a Christian. It's important to do that, and we should be setting an example, as the verse says, for other believers in faith. Now, the last thing is impurity. And now, are we all pure? No. We've all sinned. The only person who has not sinned is Jesus Christ. But we should be setting an example in purity. We should leave our sin and be pure in our ways, to follow God with all our heart. And then we'll be in purity. We'll be setting an example in purity. And that goes for every kind of purity. It's not just some purities that we can deal with fine, but then this over here, we can't be pure of that, so it doesn't matter. No, it's all purity. So, I'm going to read this again. 1 Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. So, that's all I had to say for this video. And I hope that my videos are teaching you guys, it's encouraging other Christians, and it's helping non-believers understand what Christianity is about, because I've seen there's tons of misconceptions and misinformation about it out there, and I want to shed light on that through this. So I hope I encourage my fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, and I hope I informed the non-believers watching this and possibly encouraged them also. So have an awesome day, and God bless you.